Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of T&J Tattoos and Jesus. We are here in T&J Studios with
T&J
Marty wearing
Studios.
one of the. So if you're ever walking through Walmart and there's a shirt that pops out to you, and you're like, "Man, I wonder who would buy that shirt because it's that cheesy." It's Marty Height.
I don't appreciate you throwing shade at me. I
His
thought it was kind of witty.
His shirt says, "I'm Mom's favorite. She told me not to tell you." And if anybody just laughed, you can go ahead and log off of this podcast. We don't need your streams.
I told you, this is only the second time I've ever worn this shirt. I was feeling casual this morning. It's a funny shirt. I mainly bought it to wear it over Christmas just so that I could harass my sister.
What's harassing me?
What does harassing mean?
No, it's harassing me.
Oh, it's harassing you?
Yeah.
Would you rather me take it off and record
You
shirtless?
know what? Go for it. No, that'd make for quite a video.
Our YouTube will just pop off.
Yeah. I guess it's like, in all honesty, like, I hate to say this, I like your silly goose shirt better.
My silly goose shirt. Oh, can I tell you something?
Oh no.
So I bought you a Christmas gift off of the TikTok shop. And as most things TikTok shop, the sizing is really up in the air. And so I bought it for you. It fits Ashley.
Okay.
So she got it.
Okay.
And I almost went back and bought another one, but it was here's the thing, there's no shot you would ever wear it.
I would have wore it around the house.
You don't even know what it was. You don't even know what it was.
Oh, is it not the silly goose shirt?
No, it was not. It was a take on the silly goose shirt. What does my silly goose shirt say?
I chose not to be I chose to be a serious goose today.
That's right. I chose to be a serious. This one, I think this one was like the goose in jail, and it just said I think I got too silly or something like that. It was really cheesy. Like, it was the cheesiest one.
And Ashley wears it out in public?
No, she sleeps in it.
Okay. Out in public.
No, she's not wearing that thing in public.
Would be a heck of a statement.
I could look up after the show and tell you exactly what it said, but
well, I appreciate you thinking.
It was like, I got too silly or something. It's like a stick figure. Everything's stick figure. It's like somebody drew this, like, jail cell. It's not.
How do you draw a goose?
How do you draw a goose?
What does a goose stick figure look like?
Just like the outline of the body, 2 stick feet and a little beak. Maybe 2 wings hold on to jail cells.
So it's just a regular goose.
Yeah, it's just
and the stick figure is bars.
That's correct.
Which is already stick shaped. So it's just a drawing. It's just a normal drawing. Okay.
That's correct.
Well, glad we got that. Ready? Maybe you need more sleep.
I think I do.
This could be a fun one today.
Yeah.
Folks.
So last night it took me probably an hour to go to sleep because I was laying there, convinced I was having a heart attack.
Yeah,
because I had a sharp pain in my left bicep, and I was like, I'm a goner.
That's it.
And so what I did is I laid down to sleep. It was nice and relaxed. Almost drifted off. And then I started thinking about how this was this was the night I was going to die. And so that woke me back up.
Yeah.
And I was like, because if you don't go to sleep, you can't die. And so then I laid there until I finally fell asleep. But it's fun times. I don't know if anybody else has ever done that, but it's
yeah, it happens twice a week.
Twice a week.
Twice a week.
Man.
Yeah.
You gave me some coffee today.
Oh yeah.
We're not really supposed to be. I mean, we weren't planning like a dirty brew review, but I mean, if you give it to me and I'm trying it, I might as well. I don't know what this brand is, but you brought me a K-cup, and the one that I plucked out is like cinnamon. It doesn't say this, but I think it's basically like cinnamon toast crunch.
Yeah, cinnamon French toast.
Cinnamon French toast. That was it.
I'm
gonna go in and let you know what I think of this.
Yeah, you do that, and then I'll.
It smells really good. It smells right now with I add the sweetener. It smells like that Christmas coffee that you bring. It's all right.
It's probably a little flat.
It is kind of flat.
All the flavored ones taste flat to me. K-Cups taste flat in general.
Yeah. It smells stronger than it tastes.
Yeah.
There's no taste.
It's probably just water.
There's literally, it's black water.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to drink it. It's not bad. It just doesn't have a ton of flavor.
I have no idea where we got that
I'm
from.
going to have to try some other ones. There's nobody listening on the show that's like, dude, that was my freaking Christmas gift.
Very. I mean, it's possible.
3 years ago.
It's possible. Sarah brought it home, and I don't remember where she got it from or where she found it. And she was like, "Hey, doesn't Marty have a Keurig?" And I said, "Yeah." She said,
It's your Keurig.
"Oh yeah, true." And I was like, "I can take those to him," because she was going to give them to somebody else. I was like, "I'll just take them to Marty."
Oh.
But that was 2 months ago.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah, she reminded me this morning before I walked out. The face tells me it's horrible.
It's not horrible. You want to try it?
No, not at all.
It's not horrible. It just doesn't have. It's very subtle, but it's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, I'd probably give it like a 2.7, just because there's the absence of flavor. The problem is
So you would do what we had last week over that with the mix.
Yeah, the mix was better. And honestly, I gave Rise a really hard time. Rise, once you put creamer and sweetener in it, is about the same as this.
Yeah.
All right. We have a listener question. Came in hot off the press last night.
Fresh.
Hot off the press. Here's what it was. It was from Meg, who won one of our prizes at the beginning of the year. She sent me a text. So she's a counselor too. And she said, "Okay, question for you and Josh. I have talked with female therapists about this. Do you guys pay attention to where people sit on the couch and why? I'm not sure how y'all's offices are set up, but..." And then she kind of laid out like how her predominantly female or pretty much exclusively female clientele tend to sit in the seat closest to her, and then the middle is the next most popular, and then furthest away. She's like, "I have my theories as to why this is. Curious what you guys think on where people sit." Have you ever thought about this?
Nah. I have not, but I also don't pay attention if you were to come in and paint my room either. So, I'm going back through people just this week mainly and seeing. I have an answer. I don't have an answer. I have an answer. Yeah, I have an answer.
Just keep going while you're thinking about it. Do you have a thought? Do you have an answer? You don't. Are you running tallies in your head right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Wait. Okay. All right.
Did you just run an algorithm?
Yeah, I think I got my answer.
You ever watch a cartoon as a kid that had like a robot or like R2D2? It was like when you asked it a question, it would and then it spout out. That's what you just looked like.
I got an answer.
What's your answer? Do you have an answer?
Yeah, but I feel like I don't have a definite answer, but I have my answer.
All right.
Do you have an answer?
So here's the kind of funny thing is,
There's no way somebody sits over here.
no.
No, there's no way. But so
Nobody knows where over here is.
Oh, that's true. Well, they do on the video.
Yeah, on the video. So the way that my office is set up is my office is kind of small. It's smaller than I wish it was. It's more of a rectangle, and the way that it is shaped, instead of being able to go long ways, I have to go the short ways. And so I have a couch against the long wall, and then I have a recliner that's on the other side. And so if they sit in the seat closest on the chair, like our knees are almost touching. Like it's really close.
Like we're playing footsie.
Yeah, and so there's probably 4 feet between me and the end of the couch. But the middle seat, you're at about 6 feet, and if you go to the other end of the couch, you're probably 8 feet from me, which is a comfortable distance. So here's what's funny is Meg's like, what's the theory on like where clients sit? And the truth is I haven't put a lot of thought into why clients sit where, as much as how do I get clients to sit where I want them to. I've put a decent amount of effort
Oh, yeah,
into
because this thing's
trying
over here.
into trying to shape. I
Yeah.
just moved that for you because I know you sit right there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
usually
yeah,
here, right?
yeah.
So they
And
can't.
so
They'd have to move something. Yeah.
I intentionally position my office to subliminally. It sounds so sketchy.
Yeah,
Subliminally
I'm a
get
little.
people to choose the seat I want them to sit in. Because for me, my own bubble,
Yeah,
and
this
the
is
way
too
that
much.
my seat is angled,
Yeah,
I angle it, and the way that it sits, I want them to sit the furthest away.
yeah,
And so yeah, I have a table. If you watch the video, you can see it, and it's like a C shape, so it sits on the floor but can slide under the couch, so the table can kind of like slide back. You see, anyway, and so I put it in the closest seat.
yeah,
So they would have to physically slide that table down to be able to sit this close to me. And so then by default, what it does is it puts it middle or furthest away.
yeah,
But I also don't. I want people to feel comfortable. I want them to feel like I can sit anywhere I want in here. Like I'm not telling them what to do, right? I'll be like, hey, grab a seat, make yourself comfortable. And but on the flip side, there is a seat I want them in that makes me feel comfortable.
yeah,
And so I just try to set up the room. And by default, my computer, my coffee, my phone is sitting on the table next to the recliner.
yeah.
And so it also kind of triggers, oh, that's Marty's seat.
Yeah.
But I don't tell them that. And if they came and sat in the recliner, I would sit on the couch.
I've done that before.
It'd be awkward,
Yeah,
but I would. I mean,
yeah. I've done that where people, and to me, that is a interesting, like, thing because if I didn't point, some people know, but if I didn't point to the couch, 50% of the time they go to my chair.
mm,
Like because in their mind, obviously they're the center of attention.
hey, this is becoming more flavorful.
Probably because you're reaching the sugar.
But that's probably it.
And so I've had that, and I just sit on the couch, and I'll talk to them on the couch. But it is weird, like
Because you're used to being in the same position.
yeah,
Like, this is my spot. This is
Yeah.
how we talk. This is the flow.
I would say so. My office has some space, so they can kind of choose wherever. To me, to me, this is gonna sound weird, but if Meg is listening, to me, sitting in the middle is wild. Like
There's no way I would choose a
there
middle.
would be you would
There's
there's
no,
no
like
there's
I'm
no
gonna have
shot.
an armrest if at
Yeah,
all possible.
there's no shot I'm sitting in the middle. If I sit in the middle, then I'm
That's psychopath behavior.
yeah it's call the police.
Yeah.
Like we're getting close. Like,
That's like saying, "Hey guys, I bought a plane ticket. I was the first one to purchase a ticket on the whole plane. Where'd you see? 17C.
yeah,
I'm in the middle.
I'm right smack dab in the middle.
I got the middle seat. That's my favorite."
yeah, it's right smack
Says
dab
no
in
one
the middle.
ever.
Like because like even the cushions force you to pick.
Yeah.
Well, I mean I have
mine
three.
has I got a
but-
butt crack in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's like, why do you want to sit on that?
If somebody chooses the middle for you, you need to text somebody and say, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to get the police ready." But in my mind, the middle seat, I do have a couple that sit in the middle seat, like a couple of people that sit in the middle.
Yeah.
Most, I would say, sit on the edge closest to me, but it's still not like I'm not like close,
Yeah,
but it's
y'all are-
closest to
It's a
me.
comfortable distance.
But then the other side, I've had a few people sit over there, mainly because there's a table over there. So if they have but there's a table in front of them, but
Yeah.
they sit closest to the lamp. And so I would say 60% is closest to me, 30% is closest to the lamp, and then 10% is in the middle.
Yeah. I would say probably.
Did she
80
tell you her
80
theory?
No, she didn't explain it.
So you're just going to leave us on the edge.
She's gonna leave us hanging. And she always says she listens to us at a weekend delay. So next week, when you're listening to this, Meg,
Yeah.
send us your freaking theory.
I mean, what would you think? What would your theory be?
So I'll say this. I can't have picked up on these patterns. Men almost always pick the furthest seat away. Women are the most consistent to sit more in the middle and to like want to be more in my space, not in a weird way, but they're just by default, which makes sense. And the truth is no one makes me uncomfortable. Like if you're listening and you're a client, like no one makes me uncomfortable. Like it fits them.
Yeah.
And so, but it's probably mainly women that choose closer rather than farther away. Men choose further away. Teenage boys lay down.
They're all over the place.
They're all over. Like the teenage boys, especially this one that I know, like he comes in, he sits down. Within 2 minutes, he has his shoes off, and he's sitting sideways on the couch.
Yeah.
And as this thing goes, he just slides down.
Yeah.
Until by the end of the session, his feet are going under the table, and they're to the other end of the couch, and he's laying there just like pondering life.
Yeah.
Nobody else does that.
Yeah. All the teenage boys are all like they sit in all
some
three.
Some are on the floor.
Yeah.
Sometimes he just stands up and walks around.
Yeah.
That's
I still up there.
yeah. So, but here's the funniest story. We can move on. The funniest story I had about where people sit. So, at my previous office at Envision, you know that office looked like it was a much bigger office. It was a pretty decent sized office, and so it was a square shape. And so on the far side was a couch, where that's primarily where patients sat, and then there was a coffee table in between us, and then 2 like bucket chairs, like sofa bucket chairs, and so kind of a square seating area. And so there it was easier because I didn't have like a laptop or anything. It was easier for me to sit wherever. And so I would tell patients, sit wherever you feel comfortable, and then I'll just seat accordingly. But going back to what you said, you point is in my head though, I still wanted them on the couch, and I still wanted in that first bucket seat. That's the one I normally sat in. And so in my head, I still had a preferred seating position, even though it really wasn't I could flex with it a little easier. But what I would do is I would walk in first. The first time I met with somebody, I would walk, because if you get them to sit there once, they will always sit in the same spot.
Yeah.
And so what I would do is I would walk in, I would point with my hand to the seat I wanted them in and say, hey, grab a seat wherever you feel comfortable. And so I'm telling them to sit wherever they feel comfortable, but I'm pointing to the destination. And probably 99% of the time they would walk to where I pointed and sit down. And so I felt like I was able to convey. And the truth is, if they sat anywhere, I wouldn't have, it was fine. But I still had that. So it was like a subliminal messaging. But anyway.
Okay.
That's not the funniest thing that.
I was about to say, is that the funniest thing that happened?
So I had this set up where there's 2 bucket chairs and a couch. And so I had this was a long time ago. So I had this woman that was referred to me, and she was older, and not like ancient old, but probably in her like 50s, older than me. And so she comes in for the first session, and so I had pillows on the couch, and I had pillows in the chairs or whatever, and so I come in, and I sit in my first bucket chair. And the bucket chairs are probably 4 feet away from each other, but they're both facing forward. They're not facing each other, right? They're facing the couch.
Yeah.
Well, she walks around and sits in the other bucket chair, but she like turns herself uncomfortably sideways and scoots to the front of the chair so that she can face me. And I'm like, what's happening? And so...
Because those were close.
They were, and it was strange because it's the most uncomfortable positioning. So I'm having to sit sideways in the chair while she's there in the other chair. And I'm like, what is happening right now? And so we have the session, the first appointment. We set up a second appointment. And in my head, I'm like, I'm not doing this again. Like, you're going to sit on the couch. But I'm still not. In my head, I was like, I'm gonna get you to sit where I want you to, without telling you. Like it became a game in my head. I took every pillow I had and piled it up in that bucket chair. And so there was this, and they were pretty big pillows. So there was this stack of pillows in the chair. And so, sure enough, she comes in, grab a seat wherever you'd like. She immediately walks over to the couch, and I was like, got her, because she looked right.
Yeah.
Walks over to the couch,
Reserved.
and so I quickly step in front of my chair. I sit down, and then she goes, walks around the table, moves all the pillows to the couch, and sits in that bucket chair again. And in my head, I was like, touche. You win, man.
That's worse than the middle seat.
You win.
That's
Like,
worse than the middle seat.
You can sit in that bucket chair every time. I can't.
There's no way you can do it.
She never came back after that. But
Well, it's because you forced her uncomfortably.
yeah, she's probably telling a therapist somewhere today, like, man, that was. I just really didn't feel like he wanted to like be close to me.
So,
It was weird.
I'll say it. I'll say it. I'll say
Say
it. I'll say it. I'll say it. I mean, part of me feels like this is probably not the best, but some of the things like that we've learned early on in counseling,
Yeah.
like square your shoulders, point your feet towards the client, like all the like beginning stages of, hey, this is what you do in session. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's just kind of a load of crap.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think anyone ever told me how to posture in session.
We had to practice it at Liberty.
You had to practice
We
posture.
had to
like,
practice that. It's called something. I don't forgot what it's called, but you got to like,
I mean, we probably
sit
went over it. I
up.
don't remember though.
yeah, sit up, point your feet towards the people, have your shoulders squared towards them, open. Don't ever like cross and things like that. And you know, and then as soon as I went into my first session, I was like, I can't even do that. Like if I did that, like I'd be like
You look
hanging
you
off
like
the side of my
you look
chair.
like the Queen of England posing for a photo.
Yeah, and they're not even in front of me. So it
Yeah.
was just, I don't know. I thought about it the other day because we've been.
The most probably unintendedly the best advice I've ever heard regarding dealing with patients that rings in my head regularly when I find myself in a situation where I feel a little uncomfortable, I don't know what to do, or in just any situation is I was at a training one time and the guy said, "Hey, listen, above all, be human. Above all, be human." And so, to me, what that means is, and if I find myself in any situation, just be like, Mark, if you don't know what to do, like, just above all, just, it's another human being. Like, just be present with them.
Yeah.
Do the humane thing. Like, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever, if it's an act of kindness, right? If you're in Walmart and a client walks up, have a conversation with them if they want to. Like, just be human to them. And to me, that's what I want people to experience. I want them to feel the warmth of humanity in a session. And so to me, it's like sit comfortably, but professionally. Like show them respect, but like like I want them to feel like, oh, he's comfortable talking to me. Not this is a sterile environment with a professional, and I need to feel like tense.
Yeah. Yeah. That I don't think anybody would ever have said that about me.
What?
I walked in and Josh was too professional.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I don't think that is.
I'm sitting here with this sweet
hard.
T-shirt on.
I'm gonna be honest. This T-shirt, it's
bold.
yeah, it sends a message for sure. Like, I would be interested. I want you to make just a little note on your computer of everybody you meet with today and see how many fall off in the next month.
Can I be honest with you? Before I put this T-shirt on, I looked at who I was seeing today. I would not have worn it on just any random day.
That's fair.
But when I glanced at who I was seeing today, long relationships, great relationships with these people, right? Like, I'm like, they won't care.
Yeah.
If I had never met you before, or depending on the nature of our counseling relationship, I might not pull this one out. So I will frequently do that. Like, if I'm wanting to wear something more casual or something that's a little more edgy or funny or whatever, I will glance at my caseload for the day to see, hey, listen, will people be bothered by this, or would it be a detractor? So I do put a little thought into it.
Yeah. That's probably best.
However, What's on your mind today, Joshua? Well, which television do you want to look at, I guess, in your mind? Because I know you got about 8,000 that are on at any given moment. Tell me if you agree with this. So I had a former boss who had ADHD.
Okay.
Yeah, going on my own dolphining here. And she said ADHD is like having 20 televisions that are all playing a show in front of you, and you're having to bounce between all 20. And she goes, and when I take medicine for my ADHD, it turns off most of the TV, so I'm only having to watch 4. I know you can't speak to the medicated part, because
I'm
do you
not.
feel like that's how
Well,
it is?
I don't know that. I don't know. I think mine is. I don't really think it's full ADHD. I think I am ADD to a certain extent. I do agree.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't got the H.
I don't know that the H is. Maybe. I don't know. Like, it depends on the day. Like, right now, I have no TVs on because I didn't get any sleep. But, like, usually, it's a TV on, and then another TV turns on. Instead, they're not all on at
Oh.
once.
And then you're like, ooh, look at that TV.
And I'm like, and that's when it's like, oh, here's a TV, and then they all start to turn on somewhere late, and then I got to circle back to the original TV. But I mean, I think dolphining was the best way you explained it before. It just goes all down. But speaking of TV, me and my wife have been following old Nancy Guthrie.
Yeah. This is
It's a wild story.
Wild situation.
Because it feels like a little unreal that we have a ransom in 2026 that hasn't been solved in over almost 2 weeks.
So, and I'm sure everyone listening is well aware of what we're referencing, but Savannah Guthrie, the NBC host, been on air for decades. Her mother was kidnapped almost 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
At least they are led to believe she was kidnapped.
Yeah.
They got notice that she didn't show up for a TV. They were supposed to watch a pastor or something on TV, and she didn't show up with her viewing party, I guess.
Yeah.
And on a Sunday morning, and they called the family and said, hey, you know where your mom is? And then all of a sudden they realized that there had been this event, right? Apparently there's a little bit of blood that was found.
Mm-hmm.
A camera had been removed, like a Nest, like kind of a Ring camera situation. Like, so they realized there had been an incident. She had been taken, at least is what it seems.
Yeah.
That she had been taken. And everyone's on it. Every major news network, every, like, armchair quarterback mystery solver, the FBI, local, like, everyone has been following this case. TMZ leading the charge with some ransom letters.
Yeah.
It's I read somewhere, I don't know if this is true, because you don't know what information is true and what's made up, but, like, I think this is true. They were requesting Bitcoin payment.
Yeah.
In the amount of few $1 million.
Yeah.
Was it $6 million?
Yeah.
Was that what you heard?
Yeah.
Wild.
Well, the issue, at the beginning, people were talking about, like, there's a way to trace Bitcoin to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But there's a way that it can't be traced. Like, if you're smart enough with it, like, there's a way that you'd have to pay, and you'd never find out who you paid. Which then, if this is pulled off in a way, it immediately becomes a topic of conversation and of worry that people will continue to do this. Because if you can pull off
it's
millions,
worldwide news.
Right. Like, if you can say, I kidnapped her and they paid in Bitcoin, I got away with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like a movie like, hey, I'm going to drop her off here, and you leave the duffel bag of cash here. Like, that's not doable anymore. And that's why I think ransom is wild, because it's like, how do we not know?
1940s gangsters.
Yeah, like, how do we not know when somebody gets paid? Like,
Yeah.
my phone will tell me things that I've never even said out loud before. Sometimes, like you ever, I saw this the other day. Like you ever scrolled and I saw like the weird, sketchy health ads that are at the bottom of the
Yes.
phone, but then there are like two that hit really
Yeah.
specifically that you
So
never really
this
thought.
happened to me this weekend, I think. Was it Lindsey Vonn, the skier, that went to the Olympics, blew her knee out, still decided to play to ski, wrecked first time down, broke her tibia, she's out. So I open up the ESPN app. All I do is read because it was one of the top headlines. You know, Elvon crashes,
Yeah,
had to be airlifted. I don't think I even clicked on it. I might have clicked on it and read part of the article.
yeah,
I did not verbally say anything about it. So either I only read the headline or I clicked on it and read a little bit about it. Jumped over to TikTok because in my head this is what I thought. I want to go see that crash. I'm sure that it's online. And all I do is click on TikTok and click search, and it a lot of times will pre-fill in one
Yeah.
for you, and it said Lindsey Vonn crash at Olympics. That was the prompt. And I was like, Ashley, this is insane.
Did Ashley say you're an idiot?
No.
That's usually her usual
No, I was like,
feedback.
so this is what I do think maybe I clicked on the article. Because I was like, is it watching what I do on other? She's like, yeah, duh.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, easily.
Mm.
Yeah,
It
which
was
is
wild.
wild. It's wild.
And so you're right. Like, the idea of being able to pull off this ransom. And then there's the whole, like, if she's still alive, they have to deliver her back.
Yeah,
Which it might be a little easier because they can go to a location that nobody knows about, leave her there, and they can leave, and then just be like, here she is. Versus I have to go to a place you do know about to pick up a duffel bag.
yeah. It would be wild to see the wildest thing was to never find out. That would be the wildest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Second wildest thing would be to figure out who did it and think how did they pull this off. Like,
Yeah.
they have a few suspects or a few people in mind. Like, is it just somebody that's really good at tech that can, like, that's all you need? Somebody really good at tech and you can kidnap somebody? Or is it like an organized crime thing?
And there's so much. I did think about this week. I almost texted you this as a topic. Like, when we don't know answers, our mind fills in answers.
Yeah.
Like, we immediately create a storyline that we think is most plausible.
Yeah.
And there are some wild theories being thrown out there.
Yeah.
Anything from just your good old-fashioned ransom to there's lots of shade being showed at Savannah's sister and her brother-in-law now.
Yeah, a lot there.
Savannah's been covering the Epstein files.
Yeah, that's a wild one too.
Are the Clintons doing this?
Yeah, the theories are fun.
And here's the one, like, the theories are fun unless you're one of the family members.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, respectfully, the theories are
It's
fun.
wild because it's kind of reminds me of like COVID when everybody's like, "This is what it's about. This is it."
Yeah.
And what's crazy, and here's what bothers me is somebody will be right. Somebody will be right. And they'll be like, "See, I told you."
Yeah.
Just like with COVID, right? Like somebody, it all comes out that either the shot's good, the shot's bad, right? The Chinese did this, Chinese didn't do that. Like,
Yeah.
and somebody's guess was correct, and so then they feel justified, and just being like puffing their chest out, be like, "See, I told you.
Yeah.
I told you this was a conspiracy.
Which
I told
gives
you this
them
was the Democrats."
Full confidence to guess about anything else in
so
life.
It bothers me because it was still a guess.
Yeah.
You were not a better guesser than the other people. You just happened to pick the right number.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I feel like this is that situation. Number one, law enforcement almost never tells you everything they know. I don't feel like. I mean, if they got really desperate, maybe they put all the facts out there to try to get help from the public. But I feel like rarely do you hear the whole story about what because they're not trying to inform the enemy. The one that kind of bothers me though is, and this is where media has went, is it's all commentary, and so they want clickbait, compelling conversations, and so it's entertaining, but I don't think it's productive. And that is having all of these like really TV show experts. This is the person. This is Nancy Grace. She's an expert in mysteries or whatever. And some of these people are qualified. Don't get me wrong, but they also know they're getting paid to make to try to fill in the gap.
Yeah.
And so then they're like, you know what I think? I think this is what happened, and this is why I think it happened. And I'm just like, man, like, if you're a family member and your family member is missing, I mean, it's probably kind of hard to hear all that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a wild sequence of events, like ransom. I'll save it. All remind
right.
me.
You won't remember.
Remind
Don't
me.
even try.
Oh, I'll remember.
You're
Remind me when all this is done.
Yeah.
I have a thought.
Okay.
That could be tomorrow. That could be 2 weeks from now. But I have a comment that I'm going to save because I don't know how it will land right now.
Depends how it all shakes out.
Yeah. It would be a lot better afterwards. So
I think
it's just a thought that I had about myself. But
number one, I hope the woman's still alive.
right, absolutely.
And I hope that they have this cool thing where they have actually figured out who did it, and they swoop in, they save her, and they arrest them. And then it makes for a great movie one day.
Would be wild.
But anyway.
Would be wild.
So what do situations like this make you chew on?
So I was thinking about that the other day because this has actually been a topic a couple of times. And you get this a lot, I guess, in counseling in general with people who have faith or have some type of religious connection from a God that has power.
Yeah.
And, Savannah Guthrie's big about it. She wrote a book about it. She talked about prayer. She's talking about this. She's talking about that.
Yeah, she's an advocate for her faith.
Right. And so the question always strikes, and most people may or may not relate this situation, but it always, at some point, brings up, is God really in control?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is God's sovereignty look like? Everybody will have this moment in their life happen where the tendency is we believe that He is in full control. We believe that we have free will. We don't have free will. Like, I'm not getting into all that, but it is a topic that everybody wrestles with, especially when it comes to bad things that happen. And so my thought was, why
nobody wrestles with why do bad things happen until bad things happen to them.
Right. God is in full control until something happens that you experience, and then you wrestle with it, and you don't know anymore. So I'm going to just openly say that. I woke up at 2 o'clock this morning.
Okay.
A lot of thoughts running through the mind. And I got to a point to where I felt like, I'm just going to say this on the podcast.
I'm scared right now. You have no sleep.
Yeah, just going to say this on the podcast. I don't. Oh God. I'm open to discussion for anybody that hears this, but I just don't think God's in full control. But I can't give you an answer on to what that looks like if He's not.
What do you mean?
Which has shaped the past probably year of how I look at prayer. because I'm still wrestling with it. It's like the hell situation. Like
So this isn't a new thought. This really wasn't a 2 a.m. thought today.
today, but it was a 2 a.m. thought that I was actually gonna just openly talk about it. Because usually
okay.
I like to wrestle with it or talk with you about it, talk with
Yeah.
Sarah about it, and then we'll throw it out because then I'll have like more.
Commentary to go with it.
Yeah, but I don't think God's in full control. I don't think God's sovereignty is what we think it is. Is the point? But if you were to ask me, well, what is it? I could sit here and say I can try to give you an answer, and I think I'll still want to wrestle with it and chew on it, and that I will come to an answer at some point. Like I have somewhat of an answer, but I'm not confident in it. But I'm also not confident that at all that He's in full control and He allow
Right.
like the whole unnecessary evil, allowing.
So
certain
you're not
things.
100% sure what your view is,
Right.
but you're starting to question what it's not. And that is,
I think
don't,
I'm
I
there.
don't think he's in full control.
Yeah.
So then, my question to that is why? Why don't you think? Which is really weird from a dude that was a 5-point Calvinist 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Um,
Which this is gonna
that's
be
basically like God authors evil and good.
I automatically know this comment is I already know people are gonna probably drill me anyway, but
It's all right. I know where you go to church. They accept everything. I'm just
hey,
kidding.
they know good stuff. They know good stuff. I think it's wait, what was the question?
Why don't you think
Why
God is in?
Why don't
Like
I
what
think-
has?
Oh.
Because historically, you would have
'Cause I was
said
a- I
God
would've-
is sovereign, God is in control.
Right, because I was.
So what
at
has
some point.
what has broken that belief for you?
Couldn't tell you. Like, well, I'll say this. We've talked about alignment of theology.
Mm-hmm.
And what makes this hard for me is if there is, in my opinion, if there is one person in this world that should have and should be okay with the theology of God is in full control, He allows things to happen to certain people, He allows the child to get abused, He allows the random
Mhm.
death, like, is a you are guy. I mean, ultimate reconciliation. Because at the end of the day, it's all reconciled.
Because it's all going to redemption is going to happen.
Redemption is happening. So if there's one person that I feel like, okay, that makes sense.
That's a good point. That
it
is a
would
really
be-
good point.
It would be me,
Yes.
but I'm not there. So that's what makes it hard. Like I could easily say, oh yeah, that's easy for me to say because I'm this. But it's not. It's still not because in my mind, you still have this, for me, I guess, I just don't feel like full control. God is in full control. He allows certain things. He doesn't. Because then it puts into question, like, why does He intervene and not intervene? And I already know people are going to say that the answer that I hate the most out of everything is you're just never going to understand, Josh. It's just, you just have to trust. And I want to be like, that's a cop-out answer. Like,
Listen, we should have had my wife on this podcast with you because this one gets her.
yeah, like it gets, I would imagine it gets
Right.
most people to a
Yeah.
certain extent.
And I don't know what gets her more, the sitting with the tension of the I don't know, or the bumper sticker answers that are so prevalent.
Yeah.
Probably the bumper sticker. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you.
Yeah.
That's what I think is what fall. I think that's. I'm gonna make a bold statement. You're making bold statements. I'm gonna make a bold statement here. I think it does more disservice to the credibility of Christianity to provide cheap solutions to complex problems
Mm-hmm.
than to just admit I don't know and God doesn't make sense in this moment.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
does more disservice
Yeah.
than just being like God doesn't make sense and I don't know where I stand on this.
Yeah. Yeah. Because then it's like this, and I think that's what frustrates me because it's like, oh, you just gotta, because even then, a lot of the theologies don't align. That's what bothers me is like, if you look and you peel back, and we've talked about this before, you peel back certain theologies, and you lay them all out. This is what I believe about this, and this, and this. hardly ever do they all connect.
Yeah.
There's no unification. Like, oh, I believe
Yes.
God is in full control. Oh, I believe,
In free will.
yeah, I believe that we need to, convince them that they need to choose God. That doesn't go together. And then the answer is, well, we're not going to
And
understand.
if you really didn't want Adam and Eve to sin, let's say Adam and Eve are real people. They were the first two. They were created by God. Let's take a little more literal view. Like, he really gave, like, from the get-go, man. You're
Yeah.
telling me you couldn't make one good decision?
Yeah,
Like, that fast?
yeah,
You
Yeah.
know, you would think it would be like, hey, listen, guys, like, I'm in complete control, and I'm making you with the ability to choose, but because you're made with the purest of DNA,
yeah,
you're the best. You're the OGs. Like, you're where it all comes from.
yeah,
You'd think they'd have made a lot more good decisions before we get to, yeah, you're right, serpent. Let me eat this fruit. Oh, and by the way, my son's about to kill my other son.
Yeah.
Like, hot, fast, and in a hurry.
yeah. Over fruit too.
Fruit.
I mean, maybe Tex-Mex.
If it had been in a pie,
Ooh, I'm not a big pie guy. Maybe a
I'd
pizza
kill
pie.
over a pie. Would I kill
Um,
over like an apple or an orange? Probably not. On the flip side, if it's one I never had, and so it just kind of called my name, and you just don't
Yeah.
know,
Imagine if I didn't like the taste.
yeah, that'd have been rough.
God, we just ruined the
What if
world.
they just dropped it?
And I'm allergic
gonna be
to
honest.
apples.
What fruit do you feel like most represents sin? It, like the idea, the picturing someone biting into it, my mind immediately went to plum.
That sounds horrible.
Someone biting into a plum, it's like that's where sin came from. Like I cannot picture, Eve standing in the garden popping a sliver of orange, and be like that's where it came from.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't compute.
No.
The apple is what naturally comes back to like all the childhood drawings. I can't picture somebody with a pineapple
Peeling
cracking
that bad
open
boy.
a pineapple.
There's
pulling
too many
out,
options to bail at
and
that
it's
point.
like,
It's like you can
you can't
bail.
pull out the pineapple and just be like, oh,
Yeah.
this is where no, that's plum. Plum.
Maybe a
can't-
grape.
I can't. Well, maybe,
No,
maybe.
it's a tree.
But yeah, grapes a I can't see somebody popping a blueberry and be like, that's where it came from.
Interesting.
Plum. I think it was a plum.
We got way off topic. All right, so reeling it back in with your 4 TVs.
Yeah.
No, I agree with Ashley in the sense of, and what you're saying, people would rather have it even goes back to your thing about Nancy. Fill in the gap, fill in the open space, because an open space and no answers create more anxiety for people than an answer they don't agree with, and so it's one of those things where
Oh yeah.
it's I don't know, like I'm somewhere in between. There's no control, and that there was some control at some point,
Yeah.
but not now. Like, I don't know. I'm somewhere in between that, which is, I'm going to be honest, has radically shaped my prayer life. I'll hardly ever pray for anything to happen. I know that's bad to say. I know people will say whatever, but I'm an honest guy on the podcast, so call me what you want. But I've changed the way I pray, because
Yeah.
I don't know if it's right to pray for things, because I don't know what my theology about God's sovereignty is.
So if I'm being honest with you, like prayers, nobody's ever going to call me like a prayer expert.
Yeah.
But I will agree with you largely with that. In that, so this is really interesting because we had also had a question last week about the difference in prayer and manifestation, right?
Mhm.
And so we're not necessarily prepared to go down that route, but this kind of touches on that.
Mm-hmm.
Where I feel like manifestation, and I would have to look to see if I'm assuming this correctly, is almost like praying in hope of something being created, or like, let me just
Mhm.
pray this into being present. This is what I want to be true. Where a lot of times in prayer, what I go back to is we pray as if God is a genie
Mm-hmm.
making things happen,
Mm-hmm.
and so we come to Him with our wish list. And but what I see more in Scripture is prayer isn't as much about. I mean, there are times that you do see prayer that are, God, please intervene,
Yeah.
right? Like you see Him even change His mind. It looks like,
Yeah.
But prayer is more of it's less about how do I shape God into what I need, as much as God shape me into who you need me to be.
Yeah.
And so I personally have shifted more to try to say, hey, like, I don't know what's going to happen here, but this is the person I want to be in it. These are the character flaws that I want dissolved. These are the character qualities that I think need to be present. Give me wisdom, give me it's less about like manipulating events
Yeah.
and more about like make me the person I need to be.
Yeah. Which is it's a good stance for prayer. Because I've dealt with a lot of people that are like, because prayers are answers.
Yeah.
Like, it's part of it is our relationship with prayer is our relationship to no answers, because we are anxious about decisions. And a lot of times you may or may not get an answer, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Because I
just
feel like
it's
I
just
am kind of this point where I'm like, I have no expectation that my circumstances are going to change.
yeah
Like, what's going to happen is going to happen,
yeah
right? The business is going to succeed or it's going to fail.
yeah
I think I've kind of given up on like, God, you're gonna like this orchestration of events is going to change,
yeah
and it's more about God, when whatever is destined to happen happens. May I be the person I need to be to get through it.
yeah
But I have very little.
Because it is, and we heard this with Pete Enns. He said this, and we haven't really dove into this topic, but he makes this point where God himself changes how he operates between the Old and the New Testament.
Mm-hmm.
In the Old Testament, he is very transactional. Hey, you do this, I give you this. I give you this, you do. Like, there is a very transactional thing where, if something doesn't happen, it's some of them are killed.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things where it is a back and forth, and then it shifts in the New Testament to, like, almost like God has gave the ultimate answer, and then took a step back in the New Testament to where he said, and this is where my theology kind of like still needs to be worked out, but part of me feels like God gives over a piece of himself and gives up the power to be in full control out of love for us. And he gives us some of that. And so there's a transaction of, oh, you do this, I do that, and then it shifts to, I'm going to give you a piece of myself. And in doing that, I'm giving up control. And I'm hoping and leading through the Spirit, through the gospel, through other people, that it ends up in redemption. And so,
But in some ways, because what you're saying is still, no, God is still all powerful. He is still has complete authority. And so even for him to forego some of that, it's still him being in control of it, because he's like, I'm going to give you the freedom to make these decisions,
right,
and let it play out.
and and
So
kind
I
of
mean, you could still make the argument,
Yeah.
but you're not radically saying anything crazy.
right. Well, it's more of like
But on the practical
intervention,
day
I
to
guess.
day,
Yeah, intervention
Yeah.
aspects. Like, I don't think God intervenes the way we think, and
Yeah.
I don't think God intervenes.
so here's the thing. If I'm
general.
being honest, like, number one, we have not discussed this prior to today. So
No, we have not.
this is a fresher
is-
thought for me.
This is
than
a
it
fresh,
is for you. This is fresh off
no
the pipe.
sleeps for Marty and Josh.
And so, if I'm being honest, because here's where, so this is where our discussion on hell has kind of shaped me a little bit, where it's the whole idea of realizing when you grow up in church, there are a lot of beliefs and behaviors that you realize are extra biblical,
Mm-hmm.
that are just shaped by the religious tradition of your church, maybe good, maybe bad. But it's the religious tradition, it's not biblical tradition. But then so then it's recognizing those things to be like, oh, those may have been important for that denomination or that family of faith, but it's okay to realize that that's not a biblical expression. It was a religious expression.
Right.
And so put that in its proper context. But then even within Scripture, we're taught to see Scripture a certain way, which means in the absence of information, we fill in gaps a certain type of way. And through the whole discussion, realizing everything is not as jointed together as it seems because we've been told to see it in a certain way that fills in these gaps, like insert faith, insert here, insert whatever.
Yeah.
So all that, fast forward to this idea of, I'm rapidly thinking because I haven't actually dove into this idea of sovereignty, is it feels a little bit similar to that. Where this is where I'm sitting here today at is, I've been told my whole life, right? And I'm not going to come off the mountain now, but I told my whole, God is sovereign, right?
Yeah.
He is in full control. He's planned the end from the beginning. And yet, somehow in that, there is free will, right? Where that tension is and how it plays out is, and so is this disjointedness that you highlighted between, well, how does free will exist when God is sovereign and in control? Because it's like, if he is as sovereign and in control as we say he is, then we're all puppets. But everyone say we are not puppets. Even the most reformed would say that. But how? How are we not? Or is it just he is in complete sovereign control of the stuff that matters, and which gives us the illusion that we have control, but it's all the stuff that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't know. But there's some, and so that's where the gap is where we've been told of that tension exists. It doesn't necessarily make sense to us. But we can't say that he has given up any power, but we also can't say that we don't have any power.
No.
Because we are held accountable for our decisions. And so, there is a disjointed, there's something, and so then fast forward to, and this isn't the best teacher of theology, experience.
Yeah.
My experience is I have seen God shape who I am as a person.
Yeah.
100%. I have seen him shape. I hope to goodness, and I think I can say this with confidence. When I look at who I am today, and I look at who I was in 2006, 20 years later, 2016, 2026, I can with confidence say that I believe I am more shaped by God today than I was then.
Yeah.
That I have less sinful tendencies than I did then. That I'm more sensitive to the conviction of God. That I'm kinder to other people. I think less selfish than I was.
Yeah.
I can look and say those are answered prayers. It's also just the maturity. It's also life shaping. I am more interested in God than I was 20 years ago. But I cannot look at a single situation and say God changed this situation.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think he changed us in the midst of situations, but the situation just played out as it played out.
Yeah.
And
Which is
it could have
okay.
played out
Yeah.
other ways because it's human beings making decisions.
Right.
And so practically speaking, I'm kind of agreeing with you.
Yeah.
I can't, and there's people listening to the show, I have undoubt that say, hey, listen, no. I can point to a situation right now that I think God changed, and I might argue with you, but it does, when I look back, it's my experience says I can very palpably feel the shaping of God in personhood.
Yeah.
But it feels but society's just playing out.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think it's one of those things where, at the end of the day, wherever you land,
Mm-hmm.
don't fill in the gap with something just to fill in the gap. Because,
Yeah.
We're having the conversation, but, people have the disjointed theologies or free will, sovereignty.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just fill that in, that disconnect with, we'll probably never understand. Work it out.
And here's the thing is, I do
leave
think
it
there's a
blank.
lot of things that we won't understand.
Yeah.
Or in the moment we don't understand. We just need to acknowledge that instead of trying to find a cheap answer.
Right. Yeah.
Also be willing, the challenge is also be willing to view it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
If you are confined to finding solutions within the religious denomination or the religious perspective or view, that's not bad
Yeah.
necessarily, because we have to have some rules that shape how we approach the things in life. But it doesn't mean they always get it right.
Yeah.
Right? So shifting to another perspective, like for us, I know we go back to Hell a lot, the Hell series. A lot of people would strongly disagree with us,
Yeah.
even call us heretics. But without giving up 99% of my denominational religious upbringing,
Yeah.
I still feel like there were some better answers out there than what had been presented to me.
Yeah.
So be willing to look at it from a different perspective, not to throw the baby out with the bathwater,
Yeah.
but to say, hey, listen, is there a better way to see this
Yeah.
that aligns with Scripture, aligns with what we know of God,
Yeah. And don't force people into a box that you don't even know what the answer. You're not 100% sure the answer is.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people turn away from faith because they have these questions.
And I think, too, a lot of times people feel like my faith isn't real unless I have an answer for everything. It's like
Yeah.
I feel this, and maybe it's not that they don't feel their faith is real, but there's a pressure. I know pastors feel that a lot, like this pressure to have a solution to all problems, to have an answer for all situations.
Yeah.
And it's unnecessary, unfortunately. And I think for a lot of people, it's refreshing
Yeah.
to say, listen, I do believe in this God. I just really don't know what the frick he's doing right now.
Yeah.
And I don't really know. This one doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
You know? Or the answer that I did think works feels pretty cheap now that's being fleshed out.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay.
And it's okay to say, I got it wrong.
So, all right, we're going to wrap up there. And if you have any thoughts, feel free to shoot them our way.
True that.
And until next time, I don't know that we may miss a week next week. I've got a conference to be at, so I don't know what next week looks like. So if something doesn't pop up, we apologize. But anyway, until next time, y'all behave yourselves.
Holla.